Good morning, everybody. One more pattern for today. Let's zoom in here a little bit. Get this nice and big. This one is called Krefel by Karen Frank. We're going to start with a circle, a big one. And then inside that circle, we're going to put these rice shapes, 4 of them, going that way. And then in the middle of those, we're going to put a little oval like that. And it looks like then we're going to echo that oval. And then here we're going to aura that. And that's what we're aiming for, is that shape right there. And then in the sample it shows it with this sort of interesting border thingy around it. I'm not exactly sure what I'm going to do yet. You'll notice that on the sample they colored it in looking like gemstones. That's cool, huh? We'll see what we end up with. I think being as how we're still working on Christmas, even though I'm going to end up posting these in January, so I'm behind. We are still working on Christmas based patterns, so probably end up making this like an ornament of some sort. Turn on my light. Make sure you're not too close. Find my pen. Not that one. Alright, so I'm just going to do one. Yeah, I'm just going to do one. Okay, so I want it nice and big. So I'm going to just draw me a nice big fat round thing like that. Hey, that's not bad, all things considered. Lots of my circles don't end up being round. That was pretty round. Huh. I'm pretty impressed with myself. Okay. And then we're going to kind of find about the middle of that. And then I'm going to do this rice shape. And you'll notice I started right here where my pen, when I came around, I didn't quite end up in exactly the right spot when I came around, and I didn't touch. So guess what? If you incorporate that into your tile, there's my rice shape, and now that little spot where I didn't quite touch has completely disappeared. I'm going to do this rice shape, and then I'm going to turn it, and I'm going to do this rice shape again, going this way. Okay. All right. So far, so good. So, in my Zentangle group, I posted a Christmas wish, and I'm really serious about this. What I want for Christmas is for people to stop beating themselves up about their art. Just in the last few days, I have had between the various groups that I belong to and emails and just comments on the YouTube channel, I have heard so many people say such horrible things about their own artwork. People say things like, well, first off, often I will hear, I can't draw. And that's a bunch of baloney. Did you pick up the pen? Did you make a mark on the paper? you can draw. Simple as that. Now, are you drawing what you imagine that you should be able to draw? Maybe not. But you can draw. So just that one, just if you picked up the pen and you put a mark on the paper, you can draw. I kind of like it like that. I'm supposed to fill in the rest of this, but I'm leaning toward leaving that not done. I'm gonna see what happens when I do the rest of it. And then the other thing I've heard a lot of is, you know, my work is crap. Your work is not crap. You may be dissatisfied with it, but it's not crap. So stop. You know, would you talk to your child like that? Would you, if they showed you, if they came, Mom, look at what I just drew, and it wasn't, you know, a Picasso or a Da Vinci, it was a child's drawing, would you say it's crap? No, you would not. You would not tell your child it's crap. Why do you tell yourself that? I mean, really, don't do that to yourself. It's just damaging. You know, I get it that it's easy to put yourself down. It's easy to have that negative self-talk. And I've done it to myself. I'm not perfect. I've totally done it to myself. You know, I've said things, not usually about my art. I'm usually pretty confident in what I do. I think that's because during my life, and I've been lucky that people have supported me in my artwork and have always said nice, wonderful, positive things. You might not have had that experience. You've probably had an experience where people have been very negative toward your artwork, and I'm sorry about that. But I've had negative experiences. You know, I've self-hated other areas of my life. You know, I'm ugly, I'm fat, I'm short, I'm this, that, or the other. I've done that to myself. I'm stupid. You know, I've said these horrible things to myself. And one day I just got tired of hearing myself say this about myself. You know, nobody else was saying it to me. Nobody else was calling me ugly or stupid or fat or any of those other things I was telling myself. Just trying to decide how I want to decorate the outside of this thing, because it feels like it needs something, but I'm not sure what I want to do. Maybe I'll do something, I don't know. But what I noticed was it was about 2 years ago, maybe 3 years ago, I decided I was done talking to myself like that. And even when I'm feeling negative about myself, and I start saying those bad things, those hurtful things, I stop myself. I physically, consciously stop and say, wait a minute, what are you doing? Why are you saying this? You know, is it possible that I'm yes, I'm maybe unsatisfied with my current weight, but I've started saying more positive things about myself. So rather than saying you're fat to yourself, I've been saying, you know what, you might not be happy with the weight you are right at the moment, but you've stopped gaining weight, and that's a positive thing, right? You might not be losing, but you've stopped gaining, and you've stayed at this same weight for a while. And so, you know, I give myself a positive way to look at things. You need to do that same thing for your art. You just do. So my Christmas wish is that every single one of you would stop saying such horrible bad things about your own art. You know, did you have fun drawing? You know, there are tiles, and there are times where my creation does not make me happy. But doesn't mean that it's crap. It just means that I might be a little disappointed or surprised at the outcome. If I don't go in with a preconceived notion of what it's going to look like, which I have pretty much stopped doing, then it can't look wrong because I didn't know what it was going to look like to start with. I had no idea. I didn't know I was going to do these orbs going around the outside of this thing. So I can't be disappointed in it because I had no idea that that's what I was going to do. And so all I can do is be happy. You know, that's one of the joys of this type of art, is that, you know, it's non-representational, so it doesn't have to look like anything. It's lines, like this is lines and circles. Are my circles evenly spaced? No. Are my circles even the same size? No. Does it matter? No. And the more I do this, the more I'm able to do the same sort of thing and letting go of the expectations in other areas of my life. And it has been the most freeing and positive thing that has happened to me in a really, really long time. And so, you know, I've become a happier person. And part of the reason I'm a happier person is because I've stopped telling myself I'm a miserable person. You know? Don't do it to yourself. Honestly, it's not worth it. So that's my Christmas wish, is if everyone would just, you know, be nice. Not only to each other, but to yourself. Holy guacamole. I thought the winds were finished, but apparently not. I'm just over the winds. They've been blowing for, well, today's Saturday. I don't know what day you're going to watch this, what day of the week it's going to be, but today is Saturday. And the wind started blowing on Sunday. So it's been almost 7 whole days of wind at this crazy speed, and I'm just over it. Anyway, that has nothing to do with what I was saying. I've just noticed that it just started howling again. I think I'm done. She's telling me to just leave her. She's pretty. She's needs some sparkle. And she's done. Krefel. Krefel. I'm going to sign it somewhere. And then, what does she want? She wants to be colored. She wants to be colored. What color does she want to be? Blue? I just did blue on the last one. That's why my blues are out. I'm not going to do blue. What am I going to do? Greens? Let's do some greens. Let's see. I want this green and this one and this deep foresty green and this kind of limey green. I'm going to go with that. I'll start in the middle with the limey green. Oh, the other thing people say is, I can't draw a straight line. Seriously? Okay, I'm going to zoom way, way, way in. Whoop, too far. Camera can't do that. Okay. Are those straight? Look at, those are not straight. It's not straight. Let me find one that's got like straight lines. Here's one that was done recently. Those aren't straight. They're far from straight. There's not a straight line in that bunch. That's supposed to be straight, but look, it goes here and it kind of has a swoop and it kind of goes like that. But you know, when you zoom out, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It really doesn't. Sorry, I'm on my rant, but it really, really bugs me when people put down their art. No, you can't draw a straight line, and most of us can't. Our lines are straight-ish. And your eye, yes, you see that it's not an actual straight line. I mean, I can see that this is not a smooth curve. It's got some wobble to it. That's what makes it a hand-drawn item. If you don't want it hand-drawn like that, you know, you can use a computer program, draw these same patterns, and they will have perfectly smoothed arches. They will have perfectly smooth circle. It will be an actual circle instead of this, whatever shape this is, which is not quite a circle. I can see that. It's a little flatter over on this side, and it's a little flat right there. It's not a perfect circle. You know, you can totally draw using a computer, and it will straighten out those lines for you and make them look perfect. But you know what? That takes all of the, for me, takes all of the joy out of the drawing. I don't know. You could do it, and I'm not saying it's wrong or it's bad. And I've seen some beautiful digital art. Absolutely stunning. And you're still doing the design process. But I can tell. I can look at a piece and say, you know, that was drawn on a computer because the lines are too perfect. You know, it's just like the masters, Rembrandt and Picasso and Cezanne and how, if a piece was not even signed, how the how those who study the art, the curators and so forth, how they can tell immediately who painted that painting, even if it wasn't signed, just by the unique brush strokes, the way they held their paintbrush and the way they chose put paint on the paper, on the canvas, they can tell. Well, you know, most of the time I can tell my drawing style, my aesthetic from someone else's. This is my drawing, and it's part of me. And if I want to get better at making a little more consistent line, well, then I just need to practice doing that. But it doesn't mean it's crap when it comes out inconsistent. It just means that I'm human. You know, don't fault yourself for being human. You know, we all are, and we all make mistakes, and we all things happen that are unexpected, and it's just the way life is. But you know, you don't have to beat yourself up over it. It just is what it is. That's pretty. I like that. I like those colors. I'm gonna go with this one. Thought maybe I'd make it gemmy, but I don't think so. It's just gonna go solid. So as we move forward in the new year, will you please, 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 please stop beating yourself up? That would be a great gift to me. I would totally appreciate that. Okay, one more. And I'm beginning to... It wants yellow there, so I'm going to put this darker green out here. Little dots of green. Okay, and then I want just a smudge of graphite in here. And then I'll go over the top of it with a little bit of yellow, and then I'll be done. Why? I have no idea. I just looked up and said, yeah, it wants yellow. So that's what I'm going to do. Okay. Oh, does it even want yellow? Yeah, it does. It wants yellow, but not, I thought it was going to be wanting the whole way, but it doesn't. It wants just a little bit of yellow, bright yellow, right here. Just a dot. That's it. Oh, perfect. That's exactly what it wanted. It was talking to me. All right, there you go, guys. There is Krefel. Be kind to yourself. Be kind to each other. Make this world a better place. And start with yourself. Start with yourself, then your family, then your neighborhood, people you work with, expand outward, and the world will become a better place. See you guys later. Bye-bye.